Hey, what's up, y'all? This is my review for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 4, Episode 2. So, my first thing to say is this is the reason why I wanted to start reviewing this show, because I've already watched a few of my favorite YouTubers, and not everyone is mentioning how the show was edited so poorly. We came back looking for a fight this second episode because the way the first episode ended, Stevie looked like he was, attacking Nico. He was going to give him the business, whatever. And then this episode starts off with none of that. They're just like talking shit. Security comes in and then they leave. So I don't really appreciate being fooled with. Where is the fight? They owe us a fight. So moving along to the next scene, I'm going to talk about with Jock, Curt, and Scrappy. They're like playing golf. Jock takes this opportunity to tell his boys that he's supposedly in a serious relationship with Kadia, but she doesn't get along with one of his 4 baby mamas. He got 8 kids, and one of the baby mamas in particular she doesn't get along with. I think he kind of mentions they had a fight before. So moving along to Curt, he throws out there again, because I think he said this on the other season, that he has 6 kids, and then he tells him about his artist Ashley, that he signed her, to this supposed 5-album deal. He met her at this sports bar, though. Okay, it just sounds unbelievable. Scrap and Jock ask Kirk if he's smashing. He denies, but he moves on to say that he is $250,000 in the hole, and Rasheeda doesn't know about it. And I'm just trying to figure out, is Rasheeda really not looking at, none of their stuff? Moving on, the Nico and Mimi scene. They meet up. I think it's like a dark alley type scene. It was kind of weird, but she's like, she doesn't want to be seen talking to him. I mean, I'm not mad at her for that, but I wouldn't have been meeting at night. I would have met in the daytime somewhere. Anyway, he tells her that he's entitled to his 25%, and reminds her, she signed the contract, and she says she signed it because she was messed up or whatever. He she's basically like, F you, and he's like, I'm going to reveal the truth, and she's like, what, the recorded conversations, only hoes do that. And I felt that what she said, because to me, only some childish ass person would really sit there and take the time to record a conversation, and just a hoe. But moving along to the CVJ drug testing. Stevie has the nerve to tell us, now that I fixed Mimi's problem, I gotta go fix my own problems. And I'm just like, no, wait a minute. You didn't fix Mimi's problems, and you still probably struggling to fix yours. So, he tells us that he has to pass this drug test because he's on a pre-trial probation, that he has to pee in a cup every Monday. So, and then he tells us that one of his baby moms wants and expects the same money that he used to make, and it's not the times have changed, basically. But they don't tell us right away that he fails the drug test, but we'll get to that in just a couple more scenes. So moving to Curt, Rasheeda, and Ashley scene at the introducing some event that Curt was introducing Ashley. Rasheeda tells us she feels skeptical. Ashley tells us she loves Rasheeda. She throws some shade. She's like, I've been listening to her since I was like 2 or 9 or something, some really young number. Like, trying to make, trying to point out the fact how much younger she is than Rasheeda. Which, of course, when Rasheeda sees all this stuff back, she's not going to appreciate that, obviously. But anyway, she tells Rasheeda she's a big fan. Rasheeda, she's not impressed. Rasheeda, this is when she finds out about this Buckhead office, the 2-bedroom apartment or whatever, because Ashley mentions it, and she mentions her 5-album deal, and Rasheeda's like, what? Like, because that don't make no sense to nobody. So moving along to CVJ and the Jocelyn scene. She's back. This is obviously going to be my favorite scene. She was walking up to her house. She didn't have a key, but, I was like, they're just doing that just so he could open the door or whatever, because I was just like, where is her key? If it's her house, she should be turning that key, but whatever. They embrace each other. They tell each other they miss each other, what you've been up to, all that stuff. And then it gets serious. She gets comfortable in her house clothes, next to nothing, and then she's all on top of him, but then this conversation starts getting serious about how Jocelyn she wants us to look at her in a different way. She doesn't want to be looked at as an animal. She wants people to trust her, and that's not going to happen, especially not right away. She wants people to know that she does know how to conduct herself, and that from now on she's supposedly walking away from problems. Okay, if she does do that, it's going to make the scene less entertaining, but whatever. She says something about, she takes that time to say, everybody knows Stevie J gets high, when it moves on to the fact that, he's telling her that he's probably gonna have to do this rehab or whatever for 30 days. And to me, it seems like by her saying everybody knows Stevie J gets high, it seems like she got a little extra on her check for saying that. And it's, it looked like obviously, Stevie J, he didn't appreciate her saying that, but she's like, babe, I gotta, on the side, she was like, I have to say this because this is going to give us a couple thousand extra. So anyways, moving on to the young Jock and Katie scene. Like I told you already, she's, because he told us at the golf place or whatever that she had problems with the baby mama number 4. They fought before, and Katie makes Jock say that they're exclusive. I'm just like, that is words are, it's just words. Like, whatever, you're going to try to have to promise him to make him say to you that y'all are exclusive. Okay, whatever. So he promises because he says that she knows how to take care of her man, and they seem like they're in a good place in their relationship. It's just that she doesn't like that baby mama or whatever. And I think that, besides that, Katie, she treats him well, and that Jock is happy. And moving on to Carly Red and Rasheeda at the house scene. Carly's side note, she tells us something about supposedly partnering with Erica to make a side business, but Erica's moving too slow, and she's about to make some moves on her own without her. So we've already seen some of the previews to what's going to happen in the scene where Carly's confronted by Erica or whatever. So Rasheeda tells her, yeah, you need to talk to Erica before you just move on or whatever. Y'all supposed to be cool, but maybe obviously she didn't, and her and Erica look like they're gonna have some drama this season. Rasheeda, the whole reason why Carly Red is there is because she wants Rasheeda wants her help in trying to snoop out and find out about this whole Buckhead office deal. And so they're like looking at like shoe boxes, cereal boxes, everything, and Carly Red, she likes to put herself out there that she's like a big snoop, and that, don't mess her over and she'll find out everything. And so they start digging through all the stuff, and then they find the residential lease. And to me, Rasheeda, she was doing a really, really bad acting job in this scene when she tried to act surprised, and even Carly too. They didn't seem genuine in their scene, like, at all. So it makes the show harder to take seriously, but I don't take it seriously anyway. So moving on to the Mama D and Ernest scene. Mama D tells us about Ernest. He's her ex-husband. He just got out of prison. The last 7 years he's in prison because of her. He was a street hustler. She knew it. They got into it over some stupid stuff, and she's gonna try to say, how was I supposed to know that he had drugs on him or whatever? Okay, but if you knew what he did and how he ran his life, then you knew that he probably did have drugs on him, so you should never call the laws on him. That's why people shouldn't call the laws on people. So I looking at that guy like he's stupid, because if that really, all that stuff really did happen, why is he sitting there at that table with her? Whatever, I guess he's trying to make a few bucks, but still, you don't go back to being cool with somebody who did you that dirty. So yeah, he was caught with drugs, but she says she still loves him, and she's trying to make it work with him. And she, side note, she still had that on, that monstrosity on in the confessional. I wrote that down in my notes. That disgusting, ugly ass purple thing she had on, so ugly. Moving on to the Stevie J lawyer scene with Jocelyn. He failed his drug test again. He got to go to rehab for the 30 days or get locked up for a couple years. So obviously he's going to choose the rehab. Jocelyn hopes for the best. Stevie J says to, stay on top of things. You can start planning the wedding and, keep yourself busy while he's gone. Stay in the studio, stay working, and just keep handling business while he handle his business. She, that she doesn't want to, be separated from him again. So of course she's crying, and, he's telling her to stay strong. And, then that's when CVJ tells her that she needs to talk to Mimi for Eva's sake, because Eva, Stevie J and Mimi's daughter, loves Jocelyn. And so this is, I think I said this in the first episode. He was going to make it relevant to bring them two together to have a sit down like real quick, even after he knows that everything that happened with the reunion and all that. Mimi's not gonna be cool with that, but she's probably gonna do it. Well, actually, we know she's gonna do it because we've seen it on the previews. So anyways, Jocelyn tells him that she doesn't think that it's a good idea, but she's gonna obey her husband and all this. So if that's what he wants her to do, she'll do it for him. And he tells her he got to go get himself together. And like I said, I just knew that a sit down between Mimi and Jocelyn was coming, and it looks like we'll get on the next episode. Moving along to Jock at his baby mama's house. Cena, he's playing with his kids, she's cooking, they chilling. Cena's telling us in her confessional she wants her family back. They're still sleeping together. He tells us excuse me, he tells us that he loves all his baby mamas, and Cena says she wants another kid, and he tells us that he loves Katie also, but he just throws it out there. He still loves all his baby mamas and Katie. He said he needs help. Yes, he needs help. Oh, he was grabbing all on her. I couldn't see my handwriting that good. Okay, sorry, y'all. He admits, like, basically, he's sleeping with her. She's supposedly in this committed relationship with KD, but he's choosing to be on camera doing all this whole shit, grabbing all on Cena. It was like a scene right before they were getting ready to have sex or whatever. And she says, she has a little confidence in herself, and she's like, you can't resist me or whatever, which, she's probably right. So moving along to Curt chilling at the office scene. He's at his 2-bedroom apartment / Buckhead office, and Rasheeda pops up with her key because she was able to get it because her name was supposedly signed on the lease. She's like, hello, and of course she's mad and she goes off on him. She's calling him out. She's like, what the hell? Her name's on the lease. That's not cool. You signed my name. She's going in. She calls Ashley a dingbat. She's like, so what's up with my store? Like, you can have this bullshit, but what's up with my store? He's like, no, I don't think that it's time for you to have your store. I don't understand that shit, because her store, like I keep saying, if it's making money, it seems like he should jump on that. But if he's such a business manager for her and all that stuff, so I don't get that. But he says that he don't think it's the right time. He's not supportive. He's not loyal to her. She says, she wants to separate from the business, and she's going to talk to her lawyer because he is so unloyal to her, supposedly. And side note, I'm just surprised by what people will do for a check. Really sit there and put your marriage, because to me it's that all that stuff is set up, and so it's like to me, you're risking this turning into your real reality, since you're doing all this shit on reality TV. Like, this will mess around and be your reality, just trying to get a check. Anyway, moving on to the Mimi house scene with Stevie. He got to tell Mimi about how he's going to have to go away for his 30 days in rehab. But they do talk a little bit about Nico, and she says that it didn't help the situation, whatever words were exchanged, which we knew it wasn't going to make any difference to Nico. He's blackmail 25%, or Nico tells secrets. She says she'll see him in court. Speaking of court, Stevie J tells her he failed another drug test. Well, we're not surprised. I wish she wouldn't have, though. I wish she could just do good, but whatever. Mimi says, you don't understand what you're doing affects your daughter and everybody around you. He says, I'm going to tell her. You don't have to worry about telling her. I'm going to tell her. So he tells her, like, to count the Fridays, and he'll be back in 30 days. That whole scene with her, his daughter, I was sad for the little girl. I wish they didn't put the kids on the camera and had just at least enough decency to not do that stuff, but whatever. So it's real sad, the little girl crying. She's gonna miss her dad, whatever. Stevie tells Mimi about the sit down that he wants her to have with Jocelyn, and she's like, why? She's an animal. And she says supposedly she'll think long and hard about it, but she's gonna do it. So he's like, thank you. Mimi says she'll run her management without her new partner. Stevie tells his daughter, I already talked about that. But he does say, you know, that him going away and being away from his daughter is like his motivation. I hope he does get himself together. I did like the little part where he did sing to her and we could hear his, you know, his nice singing voice, Stevie J, when he was letting his daughter know that he had to go away. So anyway, that was about it for the show. The most annoying part of the show to me was the inconsistency and the inconsistency, sorry y'all, in the fight. And my favorite part of the show was them, you know, bringing Jocelyn back. And then, but I really don't want her to change too much, because she's all saying she's gonna make these changes and she's gonna walk away from problems and stuff. But I hope she doesn't get punked out this season. I'll see y'all later. Thank you for watching.